Hey there, welcome back. Today we are learning about ideology in economic and social policy in particular. We are covering two topics today, 4.9, which deals with economic policy, and 4.10, which deals with social policy. So in this lesson, we're going to learn how ideology affects economic policy goals and how ideology affects social policy goals. Let's start with economic policy. Remember this? This is the ideological spectrum. And when we talk about economics, we are talking about the horizontal line of the ideological spectrum. When we talk about economic policy, we're talking about two parts. There is fiscal policy and there is monetary policy. And you need to make sure that you are very clear on the differences between the two. Fiscal policy is all about taxing and spending. Increasing taxes or spending more money, decreasing taxes or spending less money. Fiscal policy is controlled by Congress and the president. Monetary policy, on the other hand, is all about the money supply, basically how much money is in circulation, and interest rates. Monetary policy is controlled by the Federal Reserve. So, what's the Federal Reserve, you say? The Federal Reserve is a regulatory agency. Think back to our lessons on the bureaucracy. They are independent of the cabinet and have very little control from the president. Their goals are to stabilize the banking system and to promote economic growth through monetary policy, control of the money in circulation and of interest rates on loans and different things like that. So again, make sure you know the difference between monetary and fiscal policy. Economic policy in the United States has never just been one thing. Policy on economics has changed dramatically throughout our history. Prior to the Civil War, the United States did very little to interfere in economic affairs. In fact, they used a policy called laissez-faire economics. Laissez-faire is French for let do, as in just let them do what they're going to do. It is a sign that the government is refusing to interfere in the free market or in the economy overall. That really changed during the Second Industrial Revolution when the United States began pushing regulations in order to limit these large corporate monopolies that were popping up, specifically in railroads and oil and in steel. These regulations focused on protecting consumers, but it also focused on worker safety. So think about the book The Jungle, if you've ever heard of it. It is actually based in this time period, and it was all about workers and the lives of workers during this era. And it showed just how poorly these huge monopolies were treating their workers. The publishing of The Jungle actually helped to create the Food and Drug Administration as well. And I'll let you read the book to find out why. The Great Depression increased government spending immensely in order to help bring an end to it. So what the government did was they pumped huge amounts of money into the economy to try to bring an end to the Depression. They based this idea of doing this on Keynesian economic theory. What's that, you say? There are basically two economic theories. There's Keynesian economics and there is supply side economics. Keynesian economics says that that government spending should focus on creation of jobs or unemployment benefits to create economic growth. Basically, if you give it to the people, it is going to spur the economy up. Supply side economics is the opposite. It says that tax cuts and deregulation are going to encourage companies to then spend more money on people, to hire more people, to provide more jobs, and that is going to then spur economic growth. So the main difference between the two is where the government decides to begin the flow of money. If it begins the flow of money with the people, it is Keynesian economics. It's known as pump priming. If it begins it with corporations, that is known as supply side or trickle down economics. Lastly, let's talk about social policy. So we're talking about the vertical axis on the ideological spectrum. In social policy, each of the kind of main ideologies have very different ideas on what the government should do. Liberals believe that personal privacy is very important, almost the most important part of social policy. And they're very willing to give the government more power to protect personal privacy. And remember, personal privacy are areas of behavior where the government should not intrude. So these are sexual orientation, marriage, those kinds of things are what we're talking about when we're talking about personal privacy. Conservatives, on the other hand, tend to favor less government involvement, except in cases of religion and educational freedom. They are more willing to allow the government to interfere when it is in the name of either religion or really more tradition. Libertarians, on the other hand, really disfavor any kind of government intervention beyond the protection of private property and individual liberty. Other than that, again, they don't want the government to have any kind of involvement. In this lesson, you should have learned how ideology affects economic and social policy goals. If there's anything you've missed, go back now and re-watch that part of the video. Then make sure to answer the summarizing question in your notes, and that way you can get a stamp the next time we're in class. All right, we'll see ya. Bye.